What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kristen. If you are new, if you are returning, what's good? I just want to do a little sit down and I'm going to be looking over at my monitor. I am getting ready for a girls' day at the bar. So I need to get ready for that. That's at 4:30. It's 3:21. I really just wanted to sit and talk about my postpartum journey. So my baby is 10 months. Literally the fact that my baby is turning 1 in 2 months is crazy. I will be 32 in 2 months, and my first baby, who I lost, her name is Campbell, which I'm going to talk about her just really briefly. I will be going on and off with this, a hot flash. It doesn't happen all the time. For whatever reason, it's happening right now. Postpartum hot flashes are trash. I think I just told you I'll be looking off to the side because I'm watching my monitor. But so we had her May 8th, 2020. Any type of loss you are going to remember as a lost mom. So I always remember her birthday. I always remember you never forget about that child. You don't. Being almost 3 years removed still doesn't feel like we're so far removed from losing her. So, and even with having Keegan, like, she's a blessing. There's a lot of times that I find myself just really sad because I know that, like, the older that Keegan gets, the older that Campbell will get. And just to know, like, for me, just to know that I technically am a parent who has 2 under 2, you know, like, that's like a thing to have 2 kids under 2. I think I don't have time now. Like, what type of time do I think I would have had with Campbell and Keegan both? I don't know, girl. I don't know if we would have made it. And just to kind of go into a little bit of detail, but not a lot of detail because we don't have a lot of detail. Whenever we lost her, we chose not to do an autopsy. And we chose not to do that because I went 7 months, or I went 30 weeks gestation with a textbook perfect pregnancy is what they would call it. No issues, no problems, no gestational diabetes. There are women who have really, really hard pregnancies. And both of my pregnancies were not bad pregnancies within themselves. Deliveries, that's a different story for a different day. But the pregnancy itself was not terrible for either of my girls. So you go from having a textbook perfect pregnancy, like, and then all of a sudden one day she's not moving, so we go and we see what's up and we find out that she doesn't have a heartbeat. So, I mean, like, if you can't tell me what's wrong with her based off of that, or like if you can't say this was a cord accident, which she wasn't big enough for me to have a cord accident. So, like, that was out of the question. Pretty much, like, if you can't tell me what's wrong with her off of just a regular examination, you're not cutting into her. And I just, and even doing that, like, what's that gonna do? Like, that's not gonna bring my baby back. So no, we didn't go into, like, doing an autopsy and doing, you know, stuff like that to find out exactly, like, what exactly happened or what was wrong, because I mean, it wouldn't bring our baby girl back. And if there was anything that was going to be wrong with her, we would have known that, and or we should have known that, like, while she was baking. You take all these tests and you go to all these doctor's appointments to make sure that growth is okay and to make sure that, you know, like, everything is fine, only to still lose your child. So no, I don't, and furthermore, I don't trust you. So no, I'm not going to let you cut into my baby just to give me some type of satisfaction. Like, I was not doing that. So an autopsy for us was just not an option. That's not what we wanted to do, and we didn't do it. So I think that there's peace in knowing that God has my baby, and you know, I will meet her when I get there. You know what I mean? Like, it's still sad, it's still tragic, I still cry about it, I still have my days where I just feel like I just need a day to be a grieving mom, and I take those days whenever I need those days. So, you know, like, there's a balance in it all. But grieving, just if by chance you are a lost mom and you're coming across this video, like, legit take your time. Loss is different for every single person. So no one can tell you how long it's supposed to take. No one can suggest how long. You don't even suggest to me how long you think that it's going to take for me to get my groove back, for me to feel comfortable, for me to be able to have a conversation without breaking down. Like, just any of those things. Like, feel that shit. You have to. Like, there's no way around it. And when you come home without a baby that you just birthed, it's an inexplainable feeling, and it's trash. But I can say that to be almost 3 years postpartum from having a stillbirth, minus Keegan, let's take Keegan out of this, I feel like I felt better last year, but it really took like a whole year after having her for me to, like, not feel guilty about doing things, for me to not feel like every time I see somebody out who maybe doesn't know, it's just like, oh, where's your baby? I know you had a baby, or didn't you just have your baby? And like, it's trash. And that is also like a completely different story for a different day. But I'm just gonna have to use the back of this. Oh, fuck. That's way too much. I just wanted to do an update because I feel like I haven't talked about her since. And like I said, I noticed that there was kind of like a spike on the video explaining how we had her. My antenna kind of went up, like, what do we have going on? We're coming up on having a 1-year-old. Like, whoa, how? You really don't realize until you have those motherfuckers that, like, where did my time go? Literally, where did it go? I could have sworn I just bought a baby back to the house. Not long ago, like just last summer, brought a baby back to the house. And ironically, all of my baby girls' birthdays are in May. So my birthday is May 20th, Kimball's birthday is May 8th, and Keegan's birthday is May 17th. So I don't know how that happened. I don't have any control over that one. So and we absolutely did not plan it that way. So yeah, people say that like it's a thing that like women's bodies have a time where they make children, and I just think that that's weird, because whenever we had Campbell was planned, you know, kind of. It was more so like well, fuck it, like if we get pregnant, we get pregnant, because we kind of want kids, don't really know what we're asking for, but we kind of want to do that shit. Just a little too in my life, actually, my partner and I were not in the best space whenever we got pregnant with Keegan, which is, I don't know why things happen like that, but that's kind of annoying. Like, oh, okay, so now I'm really about to be tested. I ended up having postpartum anxiety in this pregnancy. I had postpartum depression with Campbell, rightfully so. So the postpartum anxiety, with the postpartum depression, I wouldn't choose either. Like, let's just be clear. Like, I wouldn't choose either. But I guess if I had to choose, I think postpartum anxiety has been a little bit easier to deal with than the postpartum depression. Of course, if you're a new mom and you're experiencing, and even if you're not a new mom, if you're experiencing either or postpartum depression or anxiety, y'all need to be seen. I mean, you're out of control anyway, but I'm talking like when your hormones are just that out of control. Like after you have a baby, your hormones, girl, anything can be fucking wrong. And it is a problem. Do you hear me? And it can be very small, it can be very minute, but the world feels like it's ending. So there is a difference in the time frame that you are postpartum to where your doctor can determine whether you're feeling baby blues or be it postpartum depression and or anxiety, or both. I mean, God, I never had to think about going through both at the same time. I don't want to. Like, one Lord is enough. So postpartum depression, more so on an aspect of not wanting to do anything, not having much drive to do anything. You're not able to go on with like your normal activities. You just find very little joy in doing anything. Just anything. It doesn't matter. And postpartum anxiety, something happening to me and my baby, and I envision my baby just in the crib screaming, like nobody knows that she's there, and it's just like anytime you walk down the steps, you think you're gonna fall down the steps and you're gonna die and your baby's gonna die. Or anytime you go to the store to pick up diapers and your baby's in the car, you think y'all are gonna have a car accident, you're not gonna make it back home. Those types of things, which, I mean, I guess granted, pick your poison, but neither one of those shits are fun. Like, I don't necessarily want to get in my car every day and feel like I'm going to get smacked or T-boned from the side. That's bad. And then not feeling like you want to do anything and just like having very little drive for life is also shitty. And everybody says like, oh, they're worth it. You won't remember, you know, some of the hard stuff that you go through. It'll be hard to remember because there's such blessings and this other stuff. And granted, all of that is true. But you cannot pay me enough. There will be nothing that will ever make me forget what it felt like whenever I had my kid. That one, birth pain, birth trauma. Who's talking about birth trauma? Nobody that's trying to let a bitch know. Like, you'll figure that out on your own. That's trash. Like, you'll be okay. You'll get through that. Will I though? Because as of right now, girl, things are not looking up. Things don't look good. So not only do we deal with hormones, I actually have an issue with my thyroid. I didn't have those issues before. So this again has been brought on since I have had my baby. So yeah, my thyroid is not in the level that it's supposed to be. I am hypothyroid, so it underperforms. She doesn't get what she's supposed to give. But I am getting that under control. Of course, I'm working with my PCP, and he's got me on a pretty low dosage for my thyroid. Let me just be the first to say that I think it's 1000% fucked up that society has their foot on a woman's neck for her to bounce back whenever she first has a baby. I wish that more women would start being like, fuck you. Because I'm 2 kids in and I don't look like I did before I had either of my kids. Even before I got pregnant with Keegan, like, I still didn't get all of Campbell's baby weight off. I had like I had a good like 15, 20 pounds to get off with Campbell's weight. And then it just so happened that I got pregnant with Keegan, and it's just like, girl, like, you can't control you can't control all of the amount of weight that you put on during pregnancy. Like, it doesn't happen that way. I just feel like the standard of girls who are bouncing back and who are like, and granted, by all means, like, if you're killing it and you're hitting the gym, by all means, girl, do that. Like, I'm not mad at it. I wish I had the time to go and do that type of shit for myself. I don't. I can't say that I would, even if I had the time. I think that my body has been through enough, and unfortunately, like I said, like, it's a thing where women are expected to have these babies, to bake these babies for 9 months, and just turn around and get your body back and bounce the fuck back. And I'm like, who's doing that? Who's doing that where I'm at? You see what I'm saying? Like, I know, now granted, I know several girls who bounced back and who did not have a problem. The majority of us have problems. Like, we do. Like, what is this? It sucks. And like, what do you expect a girl to do? I just had a baby and y'all want me to start back working out. Y'all expect me to breastfeed. Y'all expect me to get 3,000 or however many calories a fucking day that you want me to get, so that way I can keep my supply going. Like, what the fuck do you people expect of new moms? Tell me. Make it make fucking sense. Because it hasn't yet. So yeah, so the pressures of bouncing back, and it's like, you put it on yourself, but it's not just that. Like, it's everywhere. It's every time you log into Instagram, there's some girl who just had a baby 4 weeks ago, and it's like, oh, I have on a belly band and my stomach is back to where it was. And I'm like, bitch, fuck you. I believe that different things work for different people, right? So maybe they'll diet, or, you know, like, maybe they'll start like maybe they'll start a program or something, or get on their flat tummy tea or something. And I'm thinking, like, if it's going to work, okay. If it's not, please stop. Like, stop the bullshit. Also, no more kids. I believe I'm done. I had my run. It was a good one. Yeah, sis is done. Sis is done. I literally do not want any more kids. I wanted 3. I initially wanted 3. And that was before I even had Campbell. I wanted 3 babies. And now I'm looking at myself like, stupid. I can't say that my mind wouldn't change if my experience wouldn't have gone differently. I don't know that. I just know that my experience has brought me to where I'm at, and it's an absolute hell no for your girl. She's done. I feel like too, like, I feel like Keegan is all I need. Not like in a negative way, like, oh, my baby gives me a run for my money. She most certainly does. It's not that I can't handle it. It's just, I just really feel like my life is now, like, totally complete. I don't think another kid would be able to feel anything for me or do anything for me, if that makes sense, without it sounding harsh. Like, well, she ruined it. She did, low-key. But it's just, I feel like I got what I needed. I believe I'm done. Believe is not that strong of a word. I get it. But, you know, like, people are like, oh, you think you're done? I'll tell you that I'm on birth control. And maybe that will answer whether I'm done or not to you. You know what I mean? And lastly, motherhood has really changed your girl. A little bit. I'm still, you know, I'm still the same OG, you know, like, there's certain things about me are never gonna change. And I'm okay with that. I would hope that motherhood changes, like, every mom, but we know that's not the case. I feel like motherhood has changed me for the better. If people thought that I was no nonsense before, I'm definitely no nonsense now. Like, I was impatient before children, and I have done nothing but intensified the impatientness of it all. Just in case you're a mommy who gets postpartum hot flashes, girl, go to Amazon and get you a handheld fan. Can't go wrong with it. Anyway, that's it. I'm pretty sure this video is a little bit too scrambled, and I might edit it and just decide, girl, we'll just keep that in the archive. That'll just be for you. I don't know. See you all on the next one.